morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the second leg of the Sunday GONK King show, because we had one earlier. This is the Dr. Stunderjet show on the GONK King channel, here where we talk about our layout and talk about the good old days and feature these wonderful cars, which is a really good hobby. And thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world. This is really a treat, and we hope you enjoy it as well. And don't forget, you can ask or use a couple of channel points or some bits, and you can race your own car, you can pick your own car, you can pick your own lane, and we can even supplement some of these straight tracks with trick tracks, like a squeeze track or a crisscross or a double cross. There's so many of them. And one of these months, because we change the layout every month, and even there, if you like what you see, you know, come on down more often. We can change them as we go. Or not. But Miss GK and I will do the best we can to have a race. You can have a couple of heats. You can go as long as you'd like. Pick your car, pick your lane, pick your trick track. Now, this is the multiple paper clip, that's what I call it, and this is one of the cooler layouts. Now, I think the only difference is if it was longer, it would be way more effective, because you can really let the cars rip, you know. This is short enough to get the effect, but it's not long enough to get any speed. I mean, you get a bit, but not so bad. And so this is a Ferrari 250. We just happen to be starting the show out with that. And pretty soon we're going to change lanes, because this controller is starting to get real toasty. Yeah, it's toaster. Once again, thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world. And now we are going to go to a GTO, which is in pretty good shape. Now, some of these cars I've had for 10 some odd years, getting back into the hobby, because I've always been around HO scale slot cars and trains ever since I was a young lad. And that's back when they were very popular, in the 60s and 70s, really. And don't forget all the different companies that made slot car stuff. And these are HO scale, which is pretty much the smallest. 1/87th, that's the ratio. And then as you come up, it's 187, 164, 143, like the old motorific cars. And 1/32 is like model size, 1/25. Then you start talking about the bigger layouts, those big ones with the special motors in them, and they go so bloody fast you can't even see them. Roadrunner. I remember that not long ago, and people were starting to get back into this, and there was this little club on the Facebook, and I got to know quite a few people from all walks of life and all around the world, and I had the honor of making a special HO scale Roadrunner for a fella in Japan. Made it for him. Had a special scoop on the front, and it was really good. And I remember finally hearing from the guy, and he was like, well, it's the wrong scale, but I really like it, thank you. Stuff. I would hope it was okay because it was free. And that's when I started to get to know a lot of the people that are on eBay, and like the fellow that rewired the motors, which we talked about quite a few times. And I have one somewhere, a couple of them, where they're like ridiculous, 3 ohms, and they just scream. You're like, it's like a special transmission. Those things kick in. It's like, and our stream earlier was pretty successful. And those of you that may be in the house that might have been here earlier, I appreciate your checking us out. And special aloha to all of our regulars when they come around. Is that guy Snake 547? 74? King Cobra. What did I say? Snake Bike 72. Well, baby, don't get hooked on me. That's right, folks. Snake Bite 72.
No, King Cobra 74. He's been very supportive of the show.
Very much so. Hugely. And so wherever you are in the world, if you're just joining us on Twitch and or the YouTube, because I believe we're on there as well, yes? No.
Yeah. No.
No.
I gotta keep going.
Right now we have our 59 Impala, and I meant to make reference to that with Miss GK, that I actually saw a real live Impala the other day, and it was yellow. And I've never seen so much chrome. I mean, I've seen a lot of chrome on cars, but this was the old school, you know, where they were like, they had a period where the 59 was two-tone, and it looked like a creamsicle. It was chrome and white and orange, and the thing was just gorgeous, and it was just gloving down the road. And in those days, it probably had a 283. But it wasn't too much bigger than that. And it was really hauling, but it wasn't so fast. And I thought about it. I said, I wonder if it was a Super 6 maybe. Coffee cans. Yep, as you can tell, I'm a fan of older cars. There's nothing like a Newport or a New Yorker or an Imperial. I mean, the 72 Imperial. I mean, the Furies are gorgeous, and so are the, you know, the Polaras and all the other C bodies. But that Imperial, man, that thing is like, makes a Cadillac look like it's sitting still. Gorgeous. I always seem to forget that other Dodge. C-body Dodge. There was a Polara, there was also a Polara wagon. And I want to say Magnum. I mean, there was a Magnum, but that's not the car I'm referring to. It'll probably come to me after a spell. But they were the same kind of trim level, basically, as a Fury, like a 69 to 73. Those cars were just, man, that was, talk about like reinventing the wheel here. '69 Plymouth VIP, because there was a VIP in '67 and '8 as well. I think they had them before that too, but the VIP really stood out, and it literally said VIP. And by the hub of the early 70s, it became the Grand Coupe, which is French for Grand Coupe. Anyway, that was a joke. But the VIP, speaking of which, that one that's over by The one I had shown you that was like two-tone, it was silver and black. I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't know if they salt it.
I don't remember.
Monaco, Dodge Monaco. That was gorgeous. 72 Dodge Monaco, 72 Plymouth Fury, and 72 Chrysler Imperial. Those things are just like my word. And they used to call them boats. It's like driving a boat. Because, you know, a boat doesn't exactly turn on a dime, and that's how these cars felt. Although they did handle quite well. They had those torsion bars, they called it. The whole thing swayed, and you could hit like a railway and not even feel it. It would just be like, like what happened? I mean, you knew you were going over the railway, but you wouldn't feel it. Right. 1958 Plymouth Fury, sometimes known as Christine. They call her Christine. Believe it or not, that story, the Prophet Roger Waters had a Plymouth Fury, Belvedere Fury. It was a big, pink, long...
Oh, what did you tell me that?
What's that?
I think you did tell me that.
It's folklore. They took it to Greece or somewhere, and they actually had a big wreck in it or something. It became airborne. That was the folklore.
Well, you can't get hurt in the air.
You cannot get hurt. Those things were so big, you would just like, you know,
Totally.
hit whatever and bounce right off and not even notice it. You're like, oh, did we just hit something? I don't know. Yep, I think the 58 initially had a 318, and that's back when they had some serious torque. So you got more foot-pounds per square inch, or however they measured that, to help you get the motor, like everything would kick in, and you know the propulsion properties of the car, they were more substantial than a different motor or a different gearbox. I think they call it a 3.63 rear end, however that works. Time to get Goldie. Goldie. Goldie needs a new pin. She's temperamental without a good pin. She's kind of mental, yes, that's what I thought you said. Yep, it was all that chrome back in the day that really made a car stand out, especially if it was done right. Like the 68 LTD, that thing was just, it was like a big fat Mustang fastback with headlamp doors, and it was like, what?
They said what?
And they said, what? And I was like, what? And Amber said, what? Yeller. Oh, Yeller. Yeah, that literally is a Sunfire yellow on that one. Thank you once again, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Dr. Stunderjet show on the GONK King channel. And don't forget, we had videos back in the day at the hub of the virus period where people were doing anything they could to survive. So we had drum tutorials, and we were streaming on one platform, which wound up going belly up. And we also made cooking videos with the constable. And then we had Dr. Stunderjet, and he had these nice videos about how to run these and set them up and wire them and what's the difference in the guardrails and so on. It's actually really cool.
So, you have that new YouTube channel at Slot Cars Trains on YouTube.
Yes.
And, just totally lost my train of thought. That people can,
Train.
yeah, lost the train of thought.
Train.
But people can go and check that out. This is being streamed live on YouTube on your channel at GONK King.
Right.
But we're moving towards running this live on that channel, but we didn't do this.
So as you might have overheard Miss GK just telling us right now, we do have a separate channel on the YouTube for our slot cars and trains. And don't forget, we try to do this every week, every Sunday. Sonntag Funtag. Sunday Fun Day. Mit Dr. Stunderjet. That's because in German, J's are the sound of a Y. So it's a bit of a joke. So it's not just Thunderjet, it's Stunde, like stun. I was stunned by Thunderjets. So it's Dr. Stunderjet, and he is like this alter ego fella that can come in, and he did a tutorial on how to clean the armature motors, and we used ketchup, and it was just like the best thing, because these armature the motors, they get really dirty. They're just horrible. And
so I'll eventually be posting those videos onto that channel.
We'll eventually be putting those videos on that channel, and hopefully omitting all of those people references. You know who you are, darling. Don't forget, here on the GONK King show, all the tunes are original except for a few covers. But here, when we're doing the cars, you can pick a car, you can pick a lane, and Miss GK and myself will do the best we can to facilitate a race for you. And we can also modify the layouts and put trick tracks on it. And one of these days coming up, we're going to go back to the Intersection Pretzel. And that was a layout, one of the first ones we did when we started to stream again. And so you have these intersection tracks that are 9 inches by 9 inches, and it's literally a 90-degree intersection. But if you put them back to back with like 6-inch track or 9-inch track, it's really cool, because you have to really watch what you're doing or you will wipe out. And you can hit your opponent. In fact, the Dr. Stunderjet channel we had back in the day, which we're trying to revamp here, actually does have that video of the intersection pretzel. It basically was to try to give people ideas on how to set these up, so you can, because you can literally play. These are like Legos, and you just put them together, and as long as you get them to work, you're good to go. How the contacts work, how the controllers work, like using this old school speaker wire. Single strand, the really heavy duty single strand. It's hard to find. Multi-strands, you lose signal and channel. Like multi-strand wire you could use for like speakers, but if you had the single strand heavy duty, it's like a 18 gauge or whatever it is. It's probably, if I had to hazard a guess, it's probably when they say mil, it's not millimeters, it's 1,000th of an inch. So this is probably 2,000ths of an inch, the wire, but it's still really heavy duty. But you get more contact and more direct inject, as they say in the music business. And I used to have a spool of the stuff, and I rewired so many controllers over the years and did research on that, how they work, how do you get more out of them, like making what they call a primed controller. And like, for example, if you're in a real car and then you put it in neutral as you're going down the road, it still rolls, right? Same thing here. It doesn't just up and stop. You want it to kind of roll a little bit like that, even if there's no power applied. And it's more realistic. You're stepping on the gas and then you floor it, right? Lots of tricks of the trade, let alone using these elixirs. There's special oils you can get, and there's this stuff which I've told you, you can liken it to organic window cleaner. That way we're not using any brand names, we're not giving away any trade secrets. And a little puddle of this stuff under the wheels, and it kind of cleans them and simultaneously gives you more traction. Even with the old school skinny wheels, which were literally made out of rubber, and if they went dry on you, forget it. You couldn't get any traction at all. But the advances in technology, these special tires, and I want to say they were made by Rocket Science, I could be wrong, and they look like the original tires, but these things are made out of I don't know what, and so you put this go-go juice on the track, and you'll definitely get some traction. It's awesome. Yeah, now that we got the cameras more effective, this is what a Chaparral 2C looks like, up close and personal. And as you can see, it's 2 sets of 4 pipes. It's like 2 motors in this thing in real life. And this is a custom made one. There's the gas cat, you know, you can see where the hinges are. It's actually really cool.
Put it down a little.
Sorry. Also, the at the new technology about these the drivers, you can get different heads and different faces and things like that these days. It's actually really cool. You know, I like to have a few cars laying out, but not to be too garish. There was a period where I was going through my gear and I had like not all the cars but most of them, and it just lined up the whole layout. All the Challengers and all the Chargers and all the Barracudas and all the Chaparrals, minus one that got killed around Christmas. And this once again is a GT40, and I saw one of those the other day. Original GT40 from 1966, and that's the car that beat everybody in Le Mans in 1966. The first 5 winners were American cars made by Mr. Shelby and the Ford company, And they beat everybody. They beat Jaguars, and they beat Ferraris, and they beat, you know, French cars, Peugeots, and Mercedes and Porsches. It's a little old GT40 with a 289. That's all you need. It's a glorified Mustang. Speaking of glorified Mustangs, over here somewhere, and I found it. This is a 68 Mercury Cougar, which is basically, you know, long and short of that, it's kind of like a Mustang, really. It's a Mercury version of a Mustang. That's my take on it.
Definitely hear something really squeaking.
Yeah, it's that Cougar's got metal washers in the wheels.
They each have their own personality.
They do. All these cars have their own little souls. It's awesome. Yeah, like the layout I had at the place before we were relocated, and I had this by the window, and so I would start it at the floor, and all these ramp tracks like this, these they call them bridge tracks, and there's another one called a bump track, which is also known as a culvert, and there's a plastic housing that goes over the culverts, like, you know, like a real culvert, where you could have like water effect coming underneath it and things like that. The point of that is the track this AMX, American Motors AMX with a 307, is the fastest car I have. This thing is just the beast, as the youngsters would say. Yeah, I was talking about that track, and so I had it set up to where there was 3 different approaches to the bridge track. So I set up a bunch of bridge tracks, like 5 or 6. And there was one set that went up and one set that went down, and that was just a trip because you really needed some speed, but it was like an optical illusion like this one is. So you would come all the way around the track and then have to go up the bridge tracks, so you really need some momentum, you know. And then on the way down, you want to kind of go a little slower because it'll just fall right off. It's like... Well, I hope you're enjoying the broadcast so far. Dune Buggy, which is a glorified Volkswagen. Don't forget that thing about drifting. Mostly if you're on the inside lane, that's where you want to drift from. So that right there is a 6-inch. Then you've got that 9-inch bank turn, 12-inch outer turn, and then a 15-inch, and then it goes backwards. 15, 6, 9, 12, and then back around. And this is a pretty good car, this one Dune Buggy. You got to run them for a while. The more you run these cars, the better off they'll be. But you can't run them, or you shouldn't rather, run them for like hours and hours, because you will burn them up. should try to go for like 15-20 minutes tops, and then change lanes because these controllers get really hot as well. And so I have this old turquoise dune buggy. He's missing the head, and he's missing the glass, and he's missing the roof. And I did a lot of work on this guy just to be patient about it, because it just, I couldn't get it to go, you know, it was like stuck on, you know, I don't know what, it just didn't want to run fast. And so once it gets warmed up, it usually goes pretty well, but it takes a sec. So, once again, if you have any requests, or somebody wants to race, or you want to pick your car, I'll be more than happy to oblige that. And right now I'm going to change it out again to something else. It's time to get some Dodges going here. This is a 68 Dodge Charger in Pink Panther pink. It's actually like cranberry, really. Oh, nice. Thank you, Miss GK. Even there, too, ladies and gentlemen, Miss GK makes everything happen. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be doing this at all. And it was her idea way back in the day. We've been doing this streaming off and on to include, but not limit to, her function as a therapist, and she's really good at it. And everybody loves Miss GK because she's just wonderful. Makes me the luckiest man in the world. What was that like? Oh, was that what it was? Nice. GONK King. What a name. Why would you call an artist after a drum rim shot, I ask you? Is that what it sounds like? Well, to me, you have a head tuned just right and you make a really good rim shot. It should resonate for a couple of seconds depending on what kind of drum it is. And I'm like, the more gonk the better. If I can't feel that gonk, it's time to play something else. Actually, somebody that had some really good gonk way back in the day. I mean, there's obviously people that had that, but like a straight, where it's kind of rim shotty and you could hear it resonate, albeit detuned to a slight extent. It was a very medium tuned, so it was a really fat, heavy sound, but still maintained that gonk, like a jazz drum. So a little bit's detuned and the other part is really taut. Was Bill Bruford of the Yes way back in the day. And so he would tune his snare kind of medium, but when he hit that gonk, man, look out, because it was just like you could hear that all the way down the street. You had your speakers going in the car. Gonk! Gonk! Yep, a nice small wooden snare drum. Really, really tight. Oh yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it together. Now, there was a period, for example, where the Ludwig Supra Light, not supersonic, supraphonic rather. There was also a super sensitive supraphonic. Say that 3 times fast. You'd be like, what? Too many S's. Supra Light is a stainless steel drum with chrome on it, and those things are just gorgeous. And I have special elves, and a few years back when we were where we're at now, the special elves got me a 14 by 8 inch. It's like a parade drum. This thing is massive. But they made like 7 different types. There was a 13 by 7, the aforementioned 8 by 14. Then there was a 5 by 15, a 5 by 14, and a 4 by 14. And so you can imagine that like a piccolo, 4 inches by 14. That thing was tiny. And so when you set that puppy up for GONK, it was just like, it never stopped resonating. It's just like, GONK! And I also had the luxury of getting a 110th anniversary black brass with brass num-nums, all the num-nums. It's just gorgeous. It's a Cadillac. Rolls Royce of snare drums. And that thing's definitely got some GONK to it. Brass shell, brass parts. Very pretty. Sounds real good. And we will stream once again on Tuesday. We'll resume. And it was last Thursday we did not have an evening show. I forgot what happened, but we didn't go back on. But we are slowly but surely getting back into the routine of streaming twice a day on those days. So it's Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Or should we say Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And the only exception is Sunday, because we stream music in the afternoon and we do our layout, as you can see now, in the evening. And we have a special show coming up in real life, actually live in front of people, because some artists still play. It's hard to get shows, but they're out there. And we're going to be playing an outdoor show and hope it doesn't rain. And we'll see who shows up, and they're going to be like, wow, I don't remember that song, but it's really cool. Yep, nothing like some old Motown and funk music. Just the funkier the better. BT Express. The Brooklyn Transit Express was a real band like 52 years ago. And they had a song called Here Comes the Express, and they also did a song called Do It Till You're Satisfied. And that was just like #1. Those guys got so famous so quick. And like where they toured Japan, and people were like, you know how the technology these days, you can just watch it instantaneously. Well, back in the day, it took a couple of weeks for people to hear your records or whatever, but the touring in Japan was lucky for them because they'd already heard the music. They were like really having it. You can picture everybody dancing to those songs, and they didn't play. Bill Risbrook and Rick Right. Yeah, we're talking about music and I got sidetracked. These are all Dodge Chargers I'm using right now, the Chad Chargers. This one's a 69. 68 had 2 stripes. 69 had 1 big old stripe. The 70, I don't remember, it's inherently similar, but those 3 years on the row, 68, 69, and 70, as far as I'm concerned, that was a Dodge Charger for sure. Welcome wherever you are in the world. Welcome on Twitch and welcome on YouTube. And we hope everyone's enjoying the show so far. A couple of peeps on Twitch over here. Dodge Charger All-American, 68. B-Body, Dodge Charger, Dodge Coronet, and Plymouth Roadrunner were one and the same. I mean, obviously they're not the same, but it's the same platform. Like all those Furies we were talking about. Yep. Anything from 69 to 73 in any of those cars were really special. And 68, 9, and 70 in any of those Roadrunner, Coronets, and Chargers. In fact, that show we talked about on the YouTube, Nick's Garage, there's so many good videos because he focuses on Mopar, which is code for Plymouth and Chrysler and Dodge, Imperial, New Yorker, all that. And one of the cool things about that show is they have this contraption called a dynamometer, where you wire up the motor to this, you literally assemble the motor onto this big stand, and then you stick all these electronic things on it and make sure everything runs correctly. And there's a little fuel involved, and there's a special exhaust place that goes outside of the building and whatever. But he tests these motors like something that they've rebuilt, for example, and they have a special room where they put all the new cylinders in and all the camshafts and all the oil pump, everything. And the dynamometer tells you how fast it went, how much torque it's got, and what components don't work properly, like the carburetor or the distributor cap, all that. And although it's more simplistic than the cars of today, but those cars back in the day were just easier to do maintenance on, and at the same time, they were night and day different from today's vehicles because they were bigger cars, thusly you needed a bigger engine. And so by the hub of the mid-70s, most cars back in the day had V8s in them at least. You could still get a Fury with a V6. It's pretty rare. But to have like a 67 Barracuda S package with a 273, forget it. There's footage of that. And I told you that story. I love that story because you can watch the footage and the guy goes from no speed at all to like 70 miles an hour in just a few seconds. It's gone. You don't even see it. It's done. Let alone those Nick's videos where they have the GoPros and all those special cameras right on the motor, and you can watch it shift. All the the carburetor makes everything shift, and that's what makes it go and do its thing. And they had a 6-barrel, also known as a 6-pack. The difference is 6-pack is in Dodge, 6-barrel is Plymouth. And it was a 1969 S package 440 6-barrel Plymouth Roadrunner. I mean, my mouth was hitting the floor, and this was so cool watching all the little doors open up, and it's hard to explain all those technical terms, but it's a device that mixes air and fuel and turns it into a vapor, and then the vapor is burnt by the motor inside of it, right? And these things are really squared away. And so to be able to watch this thing happen with all the new technology, it's really, really fascinating. It's like, I don't know, like watching sharks go really slow in the water next to the cage, and it's really amusing until they start getting hungry. Yep, this nice 68 Dodge Charger right here is what they used to call Tour red, T-O-R, which is, I mean, it looks orange, but it's like if you took tomato soup like back in the day and you would add milk to it, it kind of made it orange. That's what it looks like. Tomato soup with pepperoni in it, heck yeah. Some Parmesan. You're like, what's this? It's really good. Gold Chrome 68 Dodge Charger. Really special. I have this gold chrome one. I have a blue chrome one somewhere. This one's pretty sharp. This particular one is what they used to call a Wild Ones motor, which is pretty quick. It's the same thing. It's a lower ohmage, which is resistance. So the lower the ohmage, the more output you have because there's less resistance, right? Now, it doesn't mean that the higher ohmage cars didn't run just as good, but nothing beats one of these old school cars that has really low impedance. And they run pretty spry. And thank you once again for joining us wherever you are in the world. Don't forget, you can choose a car, you can choose a lane, and you can choose a track. Oh, I'm trying to welcome everybody. Now, this guy here, I've shown a couple of times, and I'm really pleased and proud of that. That is a customized Plymouth Superbird Richard Petty car like it would have been in 1970, and this thing is gorgeous. Arrow Winged Warrior. This is basically a Roadrunner with special front and back end, and its Dodge equivalent was called a Daytona. Unlike that other Daytona, I forgot what I did with it. GT40 Daytona, or is that a Shelby Daytona? I forgot which.
Did you put it up again?
I can. And I did at one time have 4 of these, and they all had the different markings for the different countries. So this is the American one. I had a French one, and an Italian one, and a German one. Yeah, Cobra Daytonas, it was called. That's when the car started getting to the Can-Am period in the late 60s and early 70s. And that was Canadian American racing. So you had your Chaparrals and McLarens. All those cars that were really low to the ground. Thusly, the vacuum cleaners, that's what they used to call them. Because it looked like a vacuum cleaner part to pull dirt out of a duct or something. And so for August's layout, which will probably be next week, yes, I think next week is August already, or it should be. Next Sunday, what we're going to do is make a layout with bank turns for speed, but all these big turns the object is to have a turn that goes up like this and it comes all the way around, which I've made before. It's really fascinating. But you can really drift. And so you have one on one side and one on the other, or one in the middle. And then the bank turns are on the outer edges so you can really get some speed. I think that's the coolest thing about this hobby is that if you've got room, more specifically, that's why sometimes people put them on the floor. You can actually set these up on the floor. I think the only hazard after that is lint, maybe. Lint and like pet dander and things like that. That'll block your car up real bad. And I did take the liberty of getting some of my Barracudas out. So these are the equivalent of also, falling apart in my hand. 69, also 69 through 71, I think. So, but that's what that looked like. That is a Plymouth, they used to call it the hockey sticks. And if you look really carefully, it says CUDA right about there. And it's got this special injector. Cold air package, that's what they used to call that. Yep. 69 or 70 Barracuda. Not bad. In those days, this little car you could get it with a 440, but the standard fare was a small block, they called it a 340. Like the Duster. The Duster's an E-body, I believe. Whereas the Barracuda and Challenger are A-bodies? Maybe they're B-bodies, I don't remember. I thought B-bodies was Roadrunner, I could be wrong. But they used to call them hockey sticks. And so you could actually get one of these. In fact, this one says it on the side, I believe, somewhere. Yeah, CUDA with the hockey sticks. That's what they used to call it. So this particular one runs like it's got a 340 in it, or a 318 at least. And like, hard to imagine a 318, which is a small block. As opposed to a 273. I mean, if you had like I said, a Barracuda with a S23 package with a 273, forget it. That was like way too much torque and horsepower for that little car. And it's also hard to imagine having a 318 in a bigger car like a Newport or a New Yorker. And it still smoked. And those Christine movies, I think they had like 2 or 3 of those cars that did different things. And that's all they had in those was a 318. Although, doing scenes with it, they're really spinning tires, you need more torque than that. I want to say they had at least one car with a 440 in it. But that sound, there's that sound of so this yellow one is a 440 Barracuda. But that sound of an old V8 revving up is like, it's right up there with a guitar solo, man. It's just, wow, what happened? And you're listening to this thing shaking the ground. We used to call it glub glub. In fact, I still do. I have an old Plymouth Fury with some glub glub, man. The 69, I think it was the 69 318 that you could get in the Fury, had like 290 horsepower, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually was for those days. I think that was one of the best 318s was the 69. But you could actually get the police package as a civilian in a Plymouth with a 446 barrel. It's like, wait a minute, what? With the shark face, that thing that came out of the hood, cold air package to get the air to go in there to make it run, you know, cooler. Well, by all accounts, although the 69 is really nice, the 70, 71, and 72 are probably the most prized. But the 70 proper, that was like, that year, I think that was the last super 440 you could get in a Plymouth of that size. And by 72, they were all already using pollution control devices. Now, all that stuff goes back that far. It's 55 years ago, easy. Because before that, vehicles ran on leaded fuel, and they realized that that was what was messing up, like the weather and things like that. It's true, too. So all that stuff about climate shift and all that, that's not new. That's 50 some odd years ago. And also, if you were in one of those cars back in the day, no matter how you did it, if you were sitting in traffic and that car was running and you're around other cars, the smell of that, it was like being in a room where you just painted the walls, and after a time you're wondering why you don't feel so good. Not in a good way. You don't feel good. You're just like, whoa, dude. Yeah, leaded gasoline was no joke. Make you sick real quick. So by 1973, I believe it is, everything was changed out. Catalysts were starting to come in. And that was a device that burnt the exhaust twice to kind of clean it up and sweeten it up a little bit. All those cars back in the day. The Duster was pretty cool too, sometimes known as a Dodge Demon. And then it became the Aspen at the hub of the late 70s, but it was the same car. Like, so certain manufacturers over the course of their livelihoods have had cars that, you know, where the platform lasts, you know, it's the same body style for like 10 some odd years, like all the Monte Carlo and the Chevelle and all them, that was the same platform for quite a time. Even the ones in the 70s, it was basically a 10-year block. So I want to say 77 to 87 easy. Because I had a Buick Regal way back in the day. And it was the same as a Grand National or a Monte Carlo. They were all the same. Well, you can't blanketly say all the same. What's that? Pontiac Grand Prix. 1981 Pontiac Grand Prix with a small 6 was still a beautiful car. And I had a Buick Regal. It wasn't a Grand National. Grand National was actually a V6, believe it or not. It was a special 6. And there was a, I think it was called the Lumina, not the van, but the car. It was like a pre-Dale Earnhardt Monte Carlo. I think that's right. But they were really fabulous cars. And Buick was kind of a top end. And it had a 305 or a 307, which was like, you know, like you're better off not having a car. It was like, it had all those pollution stuff on it, you know, catalysts and whatever. And also, they just didn't really have a lot of power because it was all that fuel conservation, and you know, that's nice. And I'm glad that the companies did that because it was less pollution and that. We're not out of the woods yet, but it was certainly better than it was in the 50s. I can't imagine all those cars back in like World War II, all these Willis coupes and things like that, how they ran, and brakes not very clever, they would roll, whatever. But to have a late 70s or early 80s Buick or Monte Carlo Oldsmobile, they were just gorgeous. And the one I had was like powder blue, and I had a vinyl roof, and the interior was this, like, it felt like silk or something. The seats, they were just like this, I don't know, like special leather seats, that it was like the fluffy part of the seat, and they were just gorgeous. They were also electric. That was the first car I ever seen that had like electric seats and electric, you can move the steering wheel around and you can move the mirrors around. It had a motor for that. I was just like, wow. Right up there with the Fleetwood Brougham I had with a 4100 in it. That was a joke. It lasted about 6 months. Yep, the 4100 and the 864, those were probably the worst worst motors in history, or so I'm told. Well, thank you once again, wherever you are in the world, and welcome. The Charger made its debut in 1966, and it was kind of an odd looking car. It didn't look like these, but it was close to. But it had this big, it was like a big Mustang, like a bigger, wider, longer Mustang, really. And the thing was so big you could lay down in the back. It was huge. And you know, you moved a couple of seats around or whatever, and the whole thing became like, you know, you could literally pull over and fold some seats down and take a nap, you know. And they also had headlamp doors. That was like one of the coolest things, was to have that. It was just a little prestige is all. Yeah, talking about that 1968 Dodge Charger, because it had been around for 2 years by then, and 68, 9, and 70 was the second iteration of the Charger. Not to be confused with the Ram Charger, because that was a special motor, but that's where the car came from after that. Well, why don't we just make a car called the Charger? And so the 1968 Dodge Charger made its kind of like its film debut, if you want to call it that, like to where it was in the national consciousness, and I'm sure they sold quite a few of them after that. Although it lost the little duel, it was a really good race. Was that scene from a story called Bullets that had an actor named Steve McQueen back in the day, and he always played like a, how would you say that, a wicked good guy. Chuck Norris without the kung fu, how's that? Chuck Norris. That's the only guy that can kill 2 stones with 1 bird. Kill you with a chicken finger. I'm sorry, cause serious bodily harm with a bird. Yeah, that race in the Bullet movie, that was really cool. And it was Steve McQueen in a Mustang, like Eleanor, pre-Mach 1, post-fastback, and there's this Dodge Charger chasing him around, and then he makes a couple of double backs, and then he was chasing them and pushed them off the road, and they hit this gas station and blew up. It's like, no, don't waste that Dodge Charger, man. It's a good story. All that race your car in San Francisco period. Speaking of fastback Mustang, I will show you. This is a 1965 Ford Mustang 289, sometimes known as a 2+2 fastback. And that's the guy right there. Really sharp. 289. Time to change out the lane. Ooh, time to change out the lane, ladies and gentlemen, because that controller is so hot my fingers are starting to get numb. And thank you once again, wherever you are in the world, watching us here on the GONK King channel, the Dr. Stunderjet Sonntag Fundtag show. And in the fullness of time, we're going to resurrect all of our SWAT car videos and images, like that snack bar image. That was like the coolest. It looked like a drive-in on purpose. So I got that image of the old snack bar thing with like the cup dancing, and I made a still out of it on the iPad, and it looked like a drive-in movie. Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what cars I had. I think it was at least 1 Mustang, 1 Jaguar, and probably, I will show you, 1967 Pontiac GTO Tiger. Put a tiger in your tank. Oh yeah.
Yep. I gotta work on that better.
Oh, didn't you see it?
No. No. I need to go slower on that.
1967 Pontiac
Oops.
GTO.
Move it down. Yeah, perfect.
Pontiac
Oh.
GTO.
There, that's what we're talking. Move it up just a little bit.
Little GTO, you really go, go, go. 396. That's right, this ride's really weird because it's missing a wheel. I think, yep. Find a wheel. favorite cars. This was definitely one of them. I think you can still get these bodies. I'm not sure. They came two different ways. It was a gold, the trim like this with the two-tone color was black, but there was also like a two-tone, same exact car, but the other part of it was white, and they were really sharp. And the way this is, the color on this and that was done, reminds me of the 70 Chrysler 300 hearse. That thing was just the beast. You have some of those motor sounds, Miss GK? Can't really use them, can you? Or can you? I forgot.
If you make the sound, we can record it, and then I can post it.
No, I mean the other things like pick your car or whatever. I forgot how many we made.
There's some channels, well, you can look on your screen, and you can see what the different options are.
Now, every other week or so I make reference to this, the different versions that they had. But this is a street version of a Ford Cobra, AC Cobra. Yeah,
Is there any way that
tightening it up a little bit is all. Street version of a Cobra, which is really sharp. Allard and Cooper, AC. And then Mr. Shelby started making them, you know, from scratch.
Yeah, that's good.
And they had 289s or 427s that were just massive. So this is the street legal version, which is really sharp. And when I was a young lad, my dad had a red one like this and a tan one, like these old school tan colors like this. That's a Mustang Fastback, but that's pretty much the color. It's a tan, like, I don't know, like tea or coffee or something. Actually, the double dog bone was probably one of our favorites, and we had that 2 months ago, I think. Else a Cobra. Really sharp car. I think they're cool. All those really cool English cars back in the day. Austin Healey's and Aston Martins and Lagundas and Jaguars, obviously. MGs. And so Allard and Cooper was one of those companies. Sunbeam, that was another one. I mean, to be able to drive an original C-body Jaguar or a D Jaguar, let alone an XKE, that'd be something. But one of the rare cars, obviously people fell in love with the Aston Martin after that James Bond movie of the same name. And you had an Aston Martin DB5 with all those gadgets in it. And I think there's been a couple of times where they've resurrected that car for different James Bond films. But slightly before that, I want to say 1961 or close to, there was a car called Aston Martin Sagato, which was basically Italian designed, you know, like a hybrid. I forgot if it was the Ferrari people or the Lamborghini guys, something. But it was like a co-op, you know, joint ops making this car. And you cannot find an Aston Martin Sagato for less than like $1 million. They're just that expensive because they're freaking gorgeous. Oh, hey, Ivan's in the house. Welcome, buddy. What's happening? I hope you're feeling better. Cooking something. Cooking something? The smell.
No, it's probably yours.
Cigarettes.
It's in the kitchen.
Somebody's smoking something.
Yeah, it happens on our outside.
Oh, we may have a curious skunk. How's that?
There's a skunk around here too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, how many times did we roll over one? Not hitting them, but like just going near them on the road back in the day, and you're like, dude, everything smells like skunk. What happened?
There's a lot of skunk out here.
Yeah, I don't know if you can picture this little car with a 427 in it. I can't imagine that. I can't, to this day, fathom how that was.
Oh, I smell it now.
Yeah, like that burning toast place across the way.
Right.
Sounds like a bad competition show. It's not the baking competition or the iron skillet, it's the burnt toast show.
What's the expression? Give me my toast.
Right. One of the funniest stories of my whole life. When I was in a act long ago, I won't say where, nor will I say whom, but you know, when you're a musician, you only have so many options once you're done with the show. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. You gotta go bring all your gear home and whatever, and we used to stop at Culver's, which they're pretty much worldwide now, or close to. So you could go into Culver's and get a sandwich or, you know, something, let alone like a milkshake, right? Because they have pretty decent dairy products. And sure enough, there was this really malcontent is a good term. The guy, I don't know if he wasn't supposed to have carbs like at all, and I kind of know what that's like when you are on special meds or whatever and you can't eat things, right? You're getting to the stage where you can't eat this and you can't eat that and you can't have eggs and you know what I'm saying? Or you're having certain medicines, you know, like when you come out of the dentist and you've had major surgery, which I've had quite a bit of as a dental patient over the years, and you can't eat whatever because your mouth is healing up or whatever, and it makes a lot of good sense because if you were to get food particles or whatever in your mouth, it's not cool.
It's a lovely conversation.
No, I'm just saying. So this, I don't know if that was the deal with this fella, but he wanted.
I'm interrupting your story.
I don't know. Sweet layout. Thanks for sharing. Light some sparks and melt some plastic. Heck yeah. Well, we go every week, sir. Anyway, back to the story. The point of it was he couldn't have sweets or he couldn't have carbs, whatever the deal was, but he was becoming quite adamant that he wanted a piece of toast at least. And everybody else was having French toast and pancakes and whatever have you, and he couldn't have any of that. And he started to get a little unruly. Let's just say that. I think there's still some expletives hanging in the air around that place. For as long ago as that might have been, they're still there. They're still floating around. Son of a... I just want my toast. So it was like an inside joke. And you have to add to that Midwestern accent, eh? Like he was from Canada or something. So it almost makes it even more humorous, you know, not to like try to be insulting of people up north, eh? It's not about that. But you can picture that. The guy was really starting to get upset. He was losing his mind a little bit. And I just want my toast. I'm like, toast? What's toast? Oh, toast. My bad. You had to be there. Certainly had to be there. It had been like initially like, is this going to be dangerous? Is my life in danger here because of this guy? It's like kind of cracking a little bit. No. He just wanted his toast.
Go ahead and race.
Why don't you? Voila.
You pick it for me.
Voila. There you go. You are a speed racer. You're the baby Lyrosaurus. Of course, that particular speed takes a little bit of time to warm up. Meanwhile, Racer X is chasing speed at quite the velocity of celebration. Oh my goodness. Will he catch him? I don't know.
It's actually a good car for me to start out on this track. There's definitely some hard curves.
Oh, we can get you a Camaro.
No.
Nothing? No
Camaro.
Not real life Camaro. I mean, there's a little gravity involved.
What do I tell you about Camaros?
They're like Firebirds?
No, I do not tell you that.
That was weird. You just up the...
Never let me drive a Camaro. No, but with the magnet, see, I started talking and then that's what. I was gonna say with the magnet car,
I can give you a magnet car.
isn't that what that is?
It is not,
Oh, really?
but it is now.
This guy's a little stiff with
It's a magnet car, that's why.
I'm gonna lose track which one is it.
Sticky one.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. You got this.
Definitely what's curious, he's a little crunchy though.
The magnet.
Yeah, that took that, no problem.
Yeah, you saw that. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, if this layout was longer, you know, like, I don't know, 20 feet of straightaway, then it would really be something, because you'd just be like, whoa. The only respite you would have is the bank turn. Everything else you would have to stop, consciously stop. And these are primed controllers, and it doesn't stop on a dime. It's a good thing.
It's a good car for this track.
Okay. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this difficulty of, like if you made like a difficulty level, like say 1 out of 5, this is definitely like a 3, because you have to get used to what lane is which and what track you're on and whatever. You're mentally prepared for like this big 15-inch, and then it's a 6-inch, and you're like, whoa. Yeah, that comment only came up on your gear. I didn't see it on here.
The what?
That comment.
That's because it was on YouTube.
Ah!
I'm gonna work on the logistics. It's a work in process.
Those are-
It's functional.
Oh yeah.
We have regularity now.
Yep. Once again, as the holidays approach,
Yep.
probably by Thanksgiving we'll have our holiday layouts, that's plural, and I might even try to employ the helix, we'll see.
Oh, dude. So that would be the place to go. Actually, it's not such a bad idea then to mention it. I think I really like that idea. You could do it too. I don't know how much material it would take. Is that me?
It is.
Totally not watching. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I say we give you a Charger Daytona. And I will chariot out.
How does it go? A chariot, a chariot.
A chariot, a chariot, a chariot.
That's not a
Actually,
chaparral, huh?
No, that Tour Red Daytona is actually pretty spry. So.
Yeah, see, it's those really tight corners that are getting me. Curves. I guess.
Be careful with these.
That's the level of difficulty for me. It's getting these really tight corners and curves. Yeah, I definitely smell something too. Like these people outside.
We've been on for almost 2 hours already.
What's that?
We've been on for almost 2 hours already.
1.5?
At least.
An hour and 32 minutes? Yes. That just kind of flew.
Flute it off.
Yeah, it's
Give you different recipes for these. You're all set, babe. Now that red car is actually really quick. That's the one with the gear pickup shoes. So here's hoping it runs okay.
looks like a Mustang.
It is.
Yeah, it's definitely got a different feel than the other cars.
Yeah. It should be pretty sharp.
It's when it's warm up.
Yeah.
So it's smaller, so the dynamics just help take those curves a little bit better. Let's see. Of course, I always like Mustang. No Camaro, but a Mustang.
Yep. Mustang, Cougar, Galaxy 500. I mean the Falcon to a slight extent. They're really sharp cars. 68 LTD, I'm telling you. You're gonna be like, what? Oh, let alone the Torino and the Mercury Cyclone of the same year. It reminds me of a box, the plastic box back in the day, and it had in the image it had like 2 Mustangs going around, or a Mustang and a Jaguar.
Whoa! You getting ready to stream, I wonder, Ivan?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
I don't see him on here either.
You should have seen him come in before.
No?
Yeah, there he is. He just came in and said one thing. Above the shout out. Look above the shout out. Small print.
Oh, nice.
So this track?
Yep, you're the inside. You got all the
Stuff
drifting
got
in.
power in it already. You can look for like the different colors on the names, but that's really small print. We need to get a little better set up on that. Is this nailed in?
So,
Okay, we'll take a quick break.
the Halls. I think back in the day that was one of the coolest colors for a Mustang, that old orange.
You keep saying that.
I was a kid, I had this 1/25th scale, you know, it's like a push, you just pushed it around. And it was just a plastic body with these little snaps, and the whole axle went into it. You could just push it around all day long. And I literally wore out the plastic part that held the wheels in.
Oh no.
It just bent it over. I'm like, that was it. It was done. But it was a big orange Mustang. Ever since that, I was like, man, that's just gorgeous. Some cars just look better, you know,
Yeah, it's true.
white,
Well, it
green,
also
whatever.
matches their personality, you know. It brings a certain panache.
certain swing ping. I got you.
Sweet.
This is Carl Phillips speaking to you from the raceway, and then neck and neck.
See what happens when I go fast enough.
Wizzo. These run pretty good, don't they?
Yeah. Definitely warmed up.
Yeah, that orange one should be pretty short.
Oh, it's orange.
Oh, man. You get a ketchup to yogurt.
I'll skip the beat there. Yeah. See, it's that fine balance. Know when to push it. When to
Gotta
back off.
know when to push it.
There you go.
Know when to relax, that's me.
Coming through.
Coming on through.
Coming on down. Softer though. It's mesmerizing to watch it go around and listen to the world sound.
Yep.
It's done that a couple times with different amps. It's definitely done it bad on that corner too.
Yeah, that orange one, once it gets warmed up, it's pretty tight.
It is tight.
Let's see if we can do a chat stare, Drew.
Is that the same one I just said?
Yep.
Ooh, I
Now
like
you
this
got
one
chat
already.
stare, Drew.
Yeah, I like it already. Is mine the yellow version of that?
What do you mean?
You can be one like that. Yellow.
What? A charger?
Thought so. Although, I like that one too. But let's see.
Unfortunately,
Pretty
I
sweet.
don't, nor have I ever had a yellow Mustang. I got one for Johnny, I think it was. Johnny or Joe?
It's like a bright, almost neon yellow color.
Yeah, it's the one that's just a bit yet more yellow than,
See,
it's
I
a
gotta watch that corner.
Y3, I think, because a Y2 is sunfire yellow. I can't get over how smooth this orange Mustang is.
This guy is really, like I say, I gotta watch it on that corner. He's
Actually,
definitely
that was
sweet.
the chassis from the green Chaparral that blew up around the holidays. If you remember that. Fell to its death, if you wish.
How was that?
It
Did you
fell
like
off the track and went to Matatock and
the
hit
body?
yeah, and it literally just snapped right off.
Oh no. See, salvage the chassis.
Oh yeah.
Playing catch up. Ooh.
Said the tomato douche. You'll catch up.
See ya.
Right.
And that's what I get. I need to get in the groove and plow away. See, that's a problem with me in fast cars. Because I'll go, but am I going to be safe? And that's why I'm serious. Never let me drive a real Camaro. Because those are just so cool. Nemesis. Something like that.
Arch nemesis.
No, it's like, got a need for speed?
Speaking
Yes,
of Maros,
thank you.
I will show you.
Yeah, this is a really sweet car right here. There's a nice little fishtail.
You are on the drifting side, just saying.
You know how I like those fishtails.
I do.
Okay.
See that?
That just like leaves me in the dust, that car. It's a Camaro.
It's true, too.
Well, see? You just proved my point. And I'm not even driving it. It seems small. Almost seems more like a Mustang. I mean, I know it's not a Mustang.
I give you the other
but it looks
Camaros.
smaller like a Mustang.
There it is. You got your own
There.
Chaparral Camaro.
What do I tell you? So you're gonna let me do it? See, it's not gonna go.
Why is it not going?
Because I told you. It's definitely stiff. Ooh, and it's definitely gonna do a wicked fishtail. Come on.
Come on, Lee.
Yeah, for this one I have to push it down almost all the way to control.
Oh?
Yeah. Oops.
Outrageous.
this guy is way different. That way you can feel what's going on with that car. See what I mean by it being stiff?
Mm-hmm. Feels like it's been pulled.
Well, that makes sense. They're so stiff.
No, like.
I gotta be careful with this guy. See? And I was going kind of slow on that one.
Yeah, it's just one of the ones with the special motors in it.
Whoa. That's another spot on this.
You had me at Camaro.
No, don't give me a camera. I'm serious.
No, you have a Cuda now.
I'll take that.
Well, then go.
Let's just plowing through.
To the other side.
Don't mind me. Plowing through
To the other side. You know what race destroys the tiles?
House destroyed. Huh?
I did this.
Carl Phillips here, live from the race.
There you go.
Brought to you by the Savoy Fog, where is heard the music of Count Basie and the singing of Jimmy Rushing every night. I left my baby, then was in the back door crying. She said, son, you got a home, long as I got mine.
Ooh, I just made a. Huh?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a great hobby. It incorporates so many different elements. You know, different, and you can have different level of difficulty.
You gotta
And,
show them your therapy when I remember this.
yeah, you know, we could do that for like a month. You know. Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Nice recovery.
Definitely. Oops.
Richard Petty Wipeout action.
That's fun to cool down a little bit. Yeah. Just about a minute or so. Yeah. Well, that kind of happens, doesn't it?
That yellow pole is making it faster.
Oh yeah. I may have to like gun it barely.
Now we'll see.
With the
who's
faster
top
cars,
off.
I have a harder time right there.
Yeah, I remember tweaking that car's chassis because before that it was really, you could tell it wasn't warmed up and it just took forever to warm up. And I was like, why is this thing so stroppy? And I did my little magic trick to it and it was like, bam!
Oh, I'm going to sign off.
Pivot. Well, thank you once again, everybody. We will be streaming our cars once again next Sunday. Same track time, same track channel. Here on the GONK King channel, where all the tunes are original except for a few covers. And we will stream again on Tuesday at approximately noon, lunchtime, on the West Coast. And then we stream twice on Tuesday. The second leg of that stream will be at 8:30 p.m. West Coast time. And thank you once again for hanging out with us. Thank you, Miss GK, for making stuff happen. Thank you to all of our special guests that were here today. Thank you, Ivan, for touching bass. And huge shout out to Kuya Ivan. If you have not heard him play on Twitch, it's highly recommended. He's a fabulous guitar player. And he is really good at old folk music and things like that, and he's really, really good.
And we love Ivan.
And we love Ivan, that's right. He's like the brother we never had. Well, thank you once again, everybody. We will see you next time. I hope you join us to hear music when we stream on Tuesday, kind of like we did earlier on Sunday. And thank you once again. Thank you, Ms. GK, for making stuff happen. Peace out, everybody. Good night. Thank you.
Yeah. Come on. It's hard to be jamming out right now. It's hard to tell from day to day when we'll be headed out. You never know what's going on in this crazy, lazy world today. All I know is I can't wait to get back out and play. Wanna see the people clapping, dancing, grinning, smiling and laughing, having the time of their life again and again, dancing and jamming. We're off the road, can't take it. We're off the road. We're off the road, can't play it. We're off the road. We're off the road, can't see it. Just gotta wait. Back on the road is where I can't wait to be. Oh yeah. It doesn't seem so long ago we were jamming out all night, playing them drums and bass or guitar, singing it out just right, making them people wanna dance all through the night. Wanna see the people clapping, dancing, grinning, smiling and laughing, having the time of their life again and again, dancing and jamming. See the people clapping, dancing, grinning, smiling and laughing, having the time of their life again and again, dancing and jamming. We're off the road, can't take it, we're off the road. That's right. We're off the road, can't play it, just got to wait. We're off the road, can't see it, just can't wait. I'm back on the road, is where I can't wait to be. Can't wait to be. Dance with me, baby. Dance with me. So you think you've got it made, you've got it all worked out. Just remember what life is all about. We all have our ups and downs, but when you make the rough ways smooth, in the end it's up to you. Ain't no way. All downhill from here. That's right. All downhill from here. You can do it. All downhill from here. I know that life is hard, and I totally feel you. Sometimes it seems too much. Just know there'll be someone that'll help you. Life is a journey, not a destination. Come on, you can do it. Let's go. All downhill from here. Woo. Thanks, Dad. All downhill from here. All downhill from here. It always seems like you just got a flat in the middle of the highway. Well, don't forget to smell the flowers on the byway. With a little love and a little luck, it'll be a blessing. When you get to where you need to be. When you get to where you need to be, it'll finally be. All downhill from here. You got it. All downhill from here. You can do it. All downhill from here. So you think you've got it made, you've got it all worked out. get to where you need to be, when you get to where you need to be, it'll finally be all downhill from here. You got it. All downhill from here. You can do it. All yeah. Come on. It's hard to be jamming out right now. It's hard to tell from day to day when we'll be headed out. You never know what's going on in this crazy, lazy world today. All I know is I can't wait to get back out and play. Wanna see the people clapping, dancing, grinning, smiling and laughing, having the time of their life again and again, dancing and jamming. We're off the road, can't take it. We're off the road. We're off the road, can't play it. We're off the road. We're off the road, can't see it. Just got to wait. Back on the road is where I can't wait to be. Oh yeah. It doesn't seem so long ago we were jamming out all night, playing them drums and bass or guitar, singing it out just right, making them people wanna dance all through the night. Wanna see the people clapping, dancing, grinning, smiling and laughing, having the time of their life again and again, dancing and jamming. Wanna see the people clapping, dancing, grinning, smiling and laughing, having the time of their life again and again, dancing and jamming. We're off the road, can't take it. We're off the road. That's right. We're off the road, can't play it. Just got to wait. We're off the road, can't see it. Just can't wait. I'm back on